Hey there, and welcome back to Daily English Talk. I'm so glad you pressed play today, because that small decision, it already says something powerful about you. It says you're serious about growing. My name is Sarah, and together on this channel, we work on one goal, helping you speak English with real, everyday confidence. Today's episode is one I've been excited to make because the topic comes up constantly. Almost every learner I've ever spoken with has felt this exact thing, and if you've felt it too, you are in the right place. Here's what we're covering today: why your brain freezes when you try to speak, how to fix your thinking so confidence becomes natural, simple daily habits that will transform your speaking, real phrases you can use starting today, and exactly what to do when you go blank mid-sentence. By the time this episode ends, you'll have a concrete, doable plan, not just motivation, a real plan. So go ahead, get comfortable, take one slow breath, and let's get into it. Why speaking feels so hard. Let's start with the question nobody talks about enough. Why is speaking English so hard, even when you already know English? Here's what I hear from learners all the time. They say, I can understand videos, I can read articles, I can write messages, but the moment I open my mouth, everything disappears. Sound familiar? There's actually a very clear reason this happens, and once you understand it, you'll stop blaming yourself. Reason number 1, you're afraid of being wrong. Most of us grew up in schools where mistakes meant bad grades, so our brains learned to stay quiet rather than risk getting something wrong. But speaking a language is not a test, it's a tool. You don't fail when you use a tool imperfectly, you just get better with practice. Reason number 2, you're watching yourself too closely. When we speak a second language, we split our attention. Half of it goes to what we want to say, the other half goes to judging ourselves while we say it. That mental split is exhausting, and it's why your mind goes blank. Reason number 3, you're comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You watch fluent speakers on YouTube, in movies, or at work, and you measure yourself against them, but you don't see the years of stumbling, mispronouncing, and second-guessing that came before their confidence. You're only seeing the finished product. Here's something I want you to carry with you. Nervousness is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you care and that you're still growing. Now let's talk about what we can actually do about it. Changing the way you think. Before your mouth can speak confidently, your mind has to believe it's possible. That's not just motivational talk, it's how the brain actually works. The words we repeat to ourselves become the reality we live in. If you tell yourself, my English is terrible, your brain files that away as fact, and when it's time to speak, that belief shows up as hesitation, silence, and fear. So let's change the language you use with yourself. Instead of, my English is bad, say, my English gets stronger every single day. Instead of, I can't speak, say, I'm building my speaking skill right now. Instead of, I'll speak when I'm ready, say, speaking is how I get ready. These aren't lies. These are accurate descriptions of a person who is learning. Now here's the most important mindset shift of all. Your goal is not to speak perfectly. Your goal is to be understood. If someone hears you and understands what you mean, you succeeded. Full stop. It doesn't matter if the grammar was perfect. It doesn't matter if your accent is different. Communication happened. That's a win. Think about a child learning to ride a bike. Nobody waits until they're certain they won't fall before they get on. They wobble,
they fall, and they get on again. Confidence doesn't come before the writing, it comes from the writing. The same is true for speaking. You don't wait until you're confident to speak, you speak and confidence follows. Now let's talk about daily speaking habits that actually work. How to build a daily speaking habit that fits into your real life. You don't need hours, you don't need a language partner every day, you don't need to move to an English-speaking country, you need consistency, even just 10 minutes a day. Here are 5 habits that work. Habit 1. Narrate your life in English. From the moment you wake up, describe what you're doing, out loud in English. I'm turning off my alarm. I need coffee. It's a bit cloudy outside today. This trains your brain to find English words in real moments, not just during study time. Habit 2. The mirror method. Once a day, stand in front of the mirror and speak for 2 to 3 minutes. Talk about anything, your plans, your opinion on something, your weekend. The mirror removes the audience but keeps you accountable. You start to see yourself as a speaker. Habit 3. Record yourself. Use your phone, speak for 60 to 90 seconds about any topic, then play it back. This feels uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to improve. You'll hear things you never noticed, where you rush, where you pause, where your pronunciation drifts. Habit 4. Shadowing. Find a short clip in English, a podcast, a YouTube video, anything. Listen to one sentence, pause, repeat it exactly as you heard it, same rhythm, same tone, same stress. This builds fluency faster than almost any other technique. Habit 5. Speak before you're ready. Every day, say at least one thing in English to someone, a colleague, a friend, a comment online, a message in a group. Not perfect, just real. This is the habit that ties everything else together. Remember, 10 minutes every day beats 2 hours once a week, always. Section 5. Pronunciation. Clear is better than perfect. Let me settle something right now. You do not need a perfect accent, not an American accent, not a British accent, not any specific accent. You need clarity, speech that people can follow without effort. Here's how to get there. Slow down. This one change will do more for your confidence than almost anything else. When you speak slowly, you have time to find your words. Your listener has time to follow you, and your anxiety drops because you're not rushing to outrun your own nerves. Fluency is not about speed. Fluency is about smoothness. Slow and smooth is far more impressive than fast and stumbling. Focus on sounds that challenge you personally. Every language has sounds that don't exist in other languages. Identify 2 or 3 English sounds that you find difficult and work on just those. Use a mirror. Repeat, record. Be patient.
Listen actively. The most underrated pronunciation tool is listening, not passive listening, active listening. When you hear a native speaker, pay attention to where their voice rises and falls. Pay attention to which words they emphasize. Pay attention to how words connect in a sentence. Then imitate it. Your mouth learns from your ears. The more you hear, the more naturally your pronunciation shapes itself. Real phrases for real conversations. One of the biggest reasons people freeze in conversations is simple. They don't have the right words ready. So let's fix that right now. Starting a conversation. Hey, how's everything going? Good to see you. How have you been? I've been meaning to ask you something. Keeping it going. That's interesting. What made you decide that? I know what you mean. I've felt that way too. Really? Tell me more about that. Sharing your opinion. Personally, I think, from my point of view, I'm not totally sure, but I feel like small talk, the everyday gold. Can you believe this weather lately? Did you have a good weekend? I've been trying this new place for lunch. Have you been there? When you don't understand. Sorry, could you say that again a bit slower? Just to make sure I understood, you mean, I'm not familiar with that word. What does it mean? Print these, screenshot them, write them in a notebook, then use them in real conversations this week. Speaking in real situations. Practicing at home is step 1, but step 2 is taking it into the real world. Let's walk through the situations that come up most often. At work, you don't need long speeches. Keep it simple and direct. I have an idea I'd like to share. Could we schedule a quick call about this? I'm not sure I follow. Can you walk me through it? In school or class, asking questions is a sign of intelligence, not weakness. Excuse me, I have a question about that point. Would you be able to explain that differently? I want to make sure I understood correctly. In a job interview, preparation is your best friend. Practice answering these before you go. Tell me about yourself. What's your greatest strength? Why do you want this role? Speak slowly, breathe, smile. Confidence in an interview is not about sounding flawless, it's about sounding calm. While traveling, basic phrases go a long way. Can you help me? I'm looking for, how much does this cost? Is this the right platform for the train to? Meeting new people. Start tiny. Is anyone sitting here? This place is great. Have you been before? Where are you visiting from? Small starts lead to real conversations. What to do when you go blank. It happens to everyone. You're mid-sentence and the word you need just disappears. Here's your plan for that moment. Step 1, don't panic. A pause is not a failure. Native speakers pause all the time. Take a breath, let the silence exist for a second. Your brain will catch up. Step 2, rephrase around the word you've lost. If you can't remember refrigerator, say the machine that keeps food cold. If you can't remember commute, say the trip I take to get to work every day. This is actually a sign of strong language use, not weakness. Step 3, use your body. Gestures, facial expressions, and pointing are all valid. Real communication uses your whole self. Step 4, ask for help without embarrassment. What's the English word for? How do you say this in English? People almost always respond warmly. Most people genuinely enjoy helping someone who's learning. Asking is brave, not embarrassing. The key principle is a conversation interrupted by a missing word is not a failed conversation. It's a normal one. Keep going. Your action plan and closing. We've covered a lot in this episode, so before you go, let me give you something clear and concrete to take with you. Your 7-day speaking challenge. Every day for the next 7 days, do these 3 things. Speak out loud in English for at least 10 minutes. Narrate your morning. Describe your commute. Talk to your mirror. Record yourself. Whatever works, just speak. Use one new phrase from today's episode in a real moment, in a message, in a conversation, anywhere. One new phrase per day. Write down one thing you felt good about, not a mistake to fix, something you did well. Training yourself to notice progress is just as important as the practice itself. At the end of 7 days, go back and listen to the recording you made on day 1. You will hear a difference. I promise you that. And here's what I want to leave you with today. You already have everything you need to start. You have the desire because you're here. You have the ability because you understood every word of this episode. What you need now is simply to begin.
Confidence doesn't live on the other side of perfection. It lives on the other side of action. So speak today. Speak imperfectly. Speak bravely. And come back tomorrow and do it again. I'll be here with you every step of the way. This has been Daily English Talk. If this episode helped you, share it with one person who's on the same journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep speaking, keep growing. You've got this.